Hello, welcome back to the channel. My name is Claire and this is the Veg Plot Thickens. We are in my itsy bitsy kitchen at the moment because it's time to start the process for sowing the chilli seeds. Everyone's doing that at the moment. You're probably sick of seeing gardeners sowing their chilli seeds, but I'll just have a quick run through the varieties that I have. I have 6 varieties of sweet peppers that I'm sowing. Don't actually have one of the seeds yet, so that will be a little bit later, and that is F1 Bright Star, which is a small orange bell pepper. But I have Black Knight, which is a black sweet pepper. I have Californian Wonder, which, dropping it, Californian Wonder, which is a red bell pepper. Then here we have Long Bullhorn Yellow, King of the North, and then the final one is Toro Rosso. I chose this because I'm an avid F1 fan, even though I don't particularly support the drivers from Toro Rosso. But, well, anybody that follows F1 will know they've changed the name for this season. But anyway, I'm going with it. Then we move on to the chilies. And I've really had to narrow this down because I realised I just kept buying them and I don't need that many chilies. So first of all, we have a Mammoth Jalapeno, which is a green chili. Bondama Jacks, which you see the picture coming up on the screen now. And then I also have Joe's Long Cayenne, Starfish Red, Jalapeno Tiger. I chose this one because it is probably one of the most beautiful bushes, apparently. It has variegated leaves, so I thought that'd look a bit different growing in the tunnel or the greenhouse, so I chose that. And I have Sugar Rush Long Peach, Faddus AC 101B. Well, that really sounds interesting, doesn't it? I think this has variegated leaves and the small round chilies are different colours with mottles on as well, but picture again up there. And I'm probably pronouncing this wrong, but Buena Mulata. So they're my seeds. Now, I'm not sowing them right this second. I will be later on in this video. For now, I've had to go and make a jug of tea. Because apparently the way we sow our chili seeds is we soak them for 24 hours first in cold black tea. I don't think the variety matters, but it's Tetley if anyone's interested. So what I've done is I've written all of the varieties on these polystyrene beakers. I'm going to put 4 seeds in each beaker, 4 of the correct seeds, obviously, corresponding seeds in the beakers. I'm going to pour some cold tea over them and I will come back to those in 24 hours. I'm also going to be putting the compost in the seed tray so that it can warm up on the heat mat overnight. This is my thermostat that my heat mat is plugged into. The thermostat has a probe into the soil. I've set it to 26 degrees. It's currently reading 23.3, but obviously it's rising. The chilies need it quite warm to germinate. I'll just start with Buena Mulata. Seed packet here. I'm just going to pop 4 seeds in there. At least they're not the teeniest, tiniest of seeds, so there you go. 4 seeds there. Pop them in the cup. This is a very fiddly little packet. Still can't get in it. Oh dear. Right, now I am. There's the seeds this time. Put that one back in. Don't think you need to see me carry on doing each one, but I'll just do them all in their little cups and then I'll tip the tea over them. I've been a little bit carried away. I found these trays from an advent calendar that I had with a sheet of when to sow things, and there were a lot of herbs in there that it said could be sown in January, so I've now gone and sown a load of herbs. Coriander, I'm looking at them on the windowsill. Coriander, parsley, rocket, basil, not creeping buttercup. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll know the story of the nurtured basil that turned out to be buttercup. I've sowed some red salad, chamomile, dill, thyme, tarragon, and quite a lot of multi-sown spring onions. You also missed a slight problem that I had with these polystyrene cups, was that they became very static. So I've had to sit them inside other mugs as it is. Well, they're all in there now. So all that remains for me to do is just to put a little bit of tea, cold tea. Don't put hot tea on them. You will, don't want to do that to the seeds. But put in a little bit of cold tea in every cup to start the seeds off. We've even got the labels ready for when they get sown tomorrow. Here are those herbs that I've sown, and then I'm keeping my water on the heat mat as well so that it doesn't shock them. So the water is the same temperature. So I'm just giving them all a little squirt over with this. I'll just pop the lid on. I've also taken delivery of a shelving unit that I can clip my grow lights to. So all of this will be moving off of the kitchen windowsill shortly. So I'm going to give these their 24-hour soak, and then you'll catch me sowing them and popping them in their new germination hub, or the grow hub. I'm not quite sure what to call it yet, but you'll catch me there. This is adjustable shelving rack, and I'm going to start putting that together. Hopefully it'll fit in the kitchen okay, and it will be my new grow hub for this year. I think it's serious when you start talking about a grow hub, don't you? Oh my lord, it's serious when it comes with a pair of gloves. A lot of swearing, but we have done it. Now I just need to hook up the grow lights and the heat pad. That's the heat pad on. I've got a layer of thin polystyrene and silver foil underneath it. It's 120 centimetres by 40 centimetres, this heat pad, and it can fit, turned this way, sideways, 5 of these across it. Well, there we have it. It's all up and running. Absolutely thrilled with it. Definitely things have gotten a little bit more serious than I anticipated when I first had those 2 tomato plants given to me last year. I thought having a plot outside was serious enough, but an actual grow hub now for germinating, that is just, well, I didn't expect that. The foil that you can see at the back here is to help minimise light loss, so it'll bounce it back over the plants. This is my first seed tray of soil that has been keeping warm on the grow hub, and this is just the John Innes potting compost, or seed sowing compost, I think it actually says on the packet. I'm going to start sowing the chilies now because they've been soaking for more than 24 hours. I have all my little cups here, and the biggest challenge I'm going to have, I think, is how to get the seeds out of here. So that's going to take a little bit of looking and deciding, because I don't want to lose them. So I'm going to try and tip the water out, the tea out, without the seeds. Although bizarrely, this one seed here in this variety was floating. I'm sowing 1 in each cell because they're only quite small cells. So this is the first one, all sown. Just pressing them down so that they make good contact. a little squirt of water, the lid on. I just thought I'd say before anyone points it out, I do realise that the chilies and sweet peppers don't need light to germinate, but unfortunately the giant Prague celeriac does, which is why the grow lights are on at this moment in time. Right, as a little extra experiment to see whether you really do need all of this setup and you do need to soak the chili seeds, I'm going to sow 2 more. Now, what I'm going to sow here are 2 of the long yellow bullhorn. And the simple reason I'm doing that is because I already have 1 soaked. So I'm going to sow one of them. It's been soaked for 24 hours, she says. It's definitely in here. I can feel it now. I'm going to sow this one because it's been soaked for 24 hours. In there it goes, and well covered up. Then I'm going to get another one out of this bag that is completely dry, hasn't been soaked. Pop that in. I'm going to label these up, and the point for this exercise is neither of these are going to be on a heat mat. I'm going to put them on this shelf. There's no heat pad there, and I'm going to see how different the germination is between the ones that are on the heat pad. Obviously they're under light, but they don't need to be, and then the ones that are soaked, no heat mat, and unsoaked and no heat mat, just to give those of you at home that might not have or want to buy any additional setup an idea of whether things will still work just as well. These are just the cut off tops of 2-litre pop bottles, and they make excellent cloches. Obviously when things have started to germinate, I mean, you can cut these higher so you've got more room, and you take the lid off then so they get some air. But yeah, perfect for just going over little pots like you've just seen me do. But even these seed trays don't need to be that expensive, especially if you're starting out. This one here, this is £16. This is the Garland Deep Root Success, which is obviously quite expensive. By comparison, these 3 here that you're seeing, they were 5 for £20, and that's got 28 cells in it, and these have 40 cells in them. And then if I go into my kitchen window, things like this, these ones are actually printed on, but you can get these with stickers on. If you take the stickers off them and put some holes in them, you've actually got a lid and a pot to plant into. Also, everybody gets things like this. I don't know what came in these, but this kind of food packaging, they can make perfect lids over mini seed trays or pots. So you don't need to spend a lot of money to get started. I can't help myself, so I have spent a little bit of money, but to me it's an investment because I won't be needing to buy a lot of this kit again. Really looking forward to hearing in the comments what you've sown, if you're growing chilies and peppers this year. Love to know which variety so I can make a note for myself for next year. I'll catch you in the next video though. Look after yourselves. Bye.